All right, hello everybody, and welcome to Off Camber TV's coverage of the Sam Maxwell Customs ASRS Truck Series live here at the Texas Motor Speedway for the running of the Masterworks Residential 175K. That's going to be 73 laps on tap for tonight's race. We're about halfway through qualifying. And so far, Devin Sarah on top of the speed charts with Mitch Brown right behind him. Justin Brown, Michael Atkins Jr., and Sam Maxwell rounding out the top five. Joining me tonight in the booth is, as always, Katie Reed. How you doing tonight?
Yeah, doing good. Ready to get this race going. We are down to only 3 races to go, 2 after tonight. So I am extremely excited, to see what these guys can do here. Still close in points, so let's see what they can get going. It looks like we have someone up top that's also in the chase, and this might get really interesting.
Yeah, right now we are down to 6 chase drivers. After next week at Phoenix, we're going to be eliminating 2 of those contenders for the Homestead Final Four. Right now, looking for your chase drivers, they are on pole right now. Devin Sarah in the number 20 to 48 of Mitch Brown in second. Michael Atkins Jr. in the 44 in fourth. Alan Young, our points leader right now, in ninth. Jim Foose qualifying in 12th. And Brad Cross in the 17th position. So, Jason Stewart in 22nd. So a big turnaround for the majority of our chase contenders from last week when a lot of them qualified at the back for Lucas Oil.
A lot of them qualified out back, but I believe on purpose because they were waiting to get through all the accidents. Well, unfortunately, they waited a little too long because a lot of them were involved either early on after just not being able to dodge enough, and then some of them really late, and they all got in a wreck together. It wasn't as if it was one random and one chaser. I mean, it was completely all these chase drivers. I mean, there was one wreck where not one driver was outside the chase. It was a crazy night for them. So they're going to look here to recover, and this is a tough track to race at. Texas is not as easy as you might think, and these times are extremely close. I mean, Wes, you look at the top, we've got a time of 28.5. You look at the last person qualified, he's 29 flat. I mean, that's half a second between 30 cars.
Yeah, that is very impressive here at the mile and a half Texas Motor Speedway. Turn 2 is going to turn 2 and 4, as in all of the cookie cutter D-shaped ovals, are going to be the places to watch. Turn 2, the truck gets extremely tight, pushes out towards the wall. We're going to see a lot of tank slappers here tonight off of 2. And coming out of turn 4, if you exit just too low, you will feel the back end of that truck lift up, and you will be around in the grass on the front straight.
Yeah, not the fun kind of slip and slide. Not here at Texas, because that slide might ended up getting you a lot of damage. And I imagine we might have 1 or 2 trucks actually sliding through the infield. We've seen it before where they'll take a bad turn 4 and slide through the infield and not cause a caution. So keep an eye on that throughout the evening. We'll see if something like that happens, but it'll be very close. We do have currently, I believe, 35 drivers in this session. Only 29 have qualified. So we have relatively large field here compared to what we had at Lucas Oil.
Yeah, I think that's because seeing as how the actual truck series does not go to Lucas Oil anymore, not a lot of people actually bought the track to run the league with, which is completely understandable because, I mean, really you only need to buy the tracks that are actually on the schedule for any particular season on the iRacing service. But good to see another full field come out here tonight. Looking at a couple of the guys in the top 10 that don't normally qualify. I mean, looking at Tom Giannini, 29th fastest in practice, but 8th on the speed charts here and qualifying. Steve Ritter, a sort of a new face here, up there in the 6th position. And Pat Russia going from 20th to 10th between practice and qualifying.
Yeah, a very big jump for him. And people on the other side of the spectrum, you have people like the 01 of Jared Mogard, who was practiced in 3rd. And if he had run that time in practice, he would have qualified in 2nd. It is not to be. He's all the way down in 20th right now.
Right, looks like we're starting to get some drivers line up here on the front stretch. Actually, I'm gonna wait for a couple more of these drivers to pop into the race session, and we will run down your starting grid for tonight's Masterworks Residential 175K. And Devin Sarah on pole. I believe this should be his second pole of the season, and very much needed for that chase driver. Mitch Brown going to roll off on the outside of row number 1. Justin Brown inside of row 2, and to his outside, another chase driver in Michael Atkins Jr. in the number 44. The 98 of Sam Maxwell rounds out your top 5, and to his outside there in row 3 will be Steve Ritter. Tim Knott starting in 7th, Tom Giannini 8th, Allie Young 9th, and the 05 of Pat Russia rounding out your top 10. Dominic Lee in the 18 going to roll off in position number 11. Chase driver Jim Foose rolling off in 12th. Scott Smith 21st, or the 21 actually in 13th, excuse me. 14th goes to Chris Titus. Alex Geese in 15th. Jonathan Holsteins in 16th. Brad Cross, another one of our chase contenders, in 17th. John Kennedy 18th. Jordan Harnish in 19th. And the 01 of Jared Mogard going to roll off in the 20th position. Lee Staple qualified 21st. 22nd is Jason Stewart, another chase driver. Kevin Mingus in the number 94 in 23rd. Jacob Greider 24th. Jeremy Banning 25th. 26th goes to Jay Graves Jr. Steve Buhala qualifies in 27th. 28th is Pete Baskins. And last truck to take time in 29th is the 17 of Richard Stallings. Andrew Garrell is going to roll off in 30th. Stephen Trombley in 31st. Richard Fletcher 32nd. Josh Siddon 33rd. 34th Scott Haller. And Ian Hayes going to round out our 35 truck field for tonight's race.
Yeah, just to get you caught up on a little bit, we actually have 34 trucks here. Right at the end there, it looks like we had someone dip out as you were calling the track there. So, the grid there. It was the 32 of Josh Siddon that is not going to be in this race. So 34 trucks in this field tonight. And I do want to mention, this is actually his 3rd pole of this year. He got one at Lucas Oil, and you probably didn't remember this because it's been quite a while, but he also got the pole at Kansas.
I remember Kansas. I swear he got wrecked on the outlap. Didn't even get off the pit road.
I'm sure he doesn't want to remember it. Let's put it that way.
Yeah. Well, the field is rolling through turns 3 and 4. Going to get this 73-lap race underway here. Devin Sarah going to have command of this field once the pace car rolls down to the pit lane. Pace car is off. Devin Sarah waiting. Green flag is in the air. We are underway here at Texas.
Nice little jump, actually. Going to get easily ahead of the 48 there. Get down to single file. See if the 48 can get down. He will. Just barely in front of the 83 right there on the inside of the 44. Oh, barely got down there. The 44 did, right in front of the 98 of Sam Maxwell. The top 5 are single file.
Yeah, right behind him, the 41 of Tim Knott and the 16 of Steve Ritter side by side, rolling through turn to number 4. Behind him, the 24, Alan Young, looking to pounce on somebody's mistake right there, rolling around the 6th and 7th position. And it looks like a lot of dirt on the track, or all of these trucks are bottoming out all over the place.
Yeah, they really are. And it looks like, for the most part, this top 10 really wants to get single file. Everyone finally down to single file, and even through the back of the field. And it looks like we have a little bit of a separation. The top 14 have separated from the rest of the field. Back there, the 01 trying to get clear. He's gone, the 89 as well.
Yeah, battle for 3rd right now. Michael Atkins Jr. to the inside of the 83 of Justin Brown. Atkins wasting no time trying to pick up that 3rd position. Going to bring Sam Maxwell with him as they're coming off of turn number 2. Going to get really tight with the 98 and 83. Battle for the lead in front of him as well. Mitch Brown looking to the inside of Devin Sarah here on lap number 3 in turn 3. That 48 to the bottom, 20 in the middle. Looks like we're going to give it to Mitch Brown here.
Yeah, Mitch Brown trying to do his best, get out front, lead some laps right now. Got to be careful. We got a long way to go. 3 laps just completed out of the total 73 for this race. Get into the lead, maybe put down some good time and try to get away from everyone.
Yeah, Atkins Jr. getting ready to throw his hat into the ring as well. He's closing in on the back bumper of that number 20 as they head into the turn. Behind them, the 24 and 16 are side by side. But there's going to be another battle for the lead. I don't think Michael Atkins Jr. wants to play around. He wants to get back up to the front. Here goes Devin Sarah into one.
Yeah, Devin Sarah is just going to be able to stick his nose in there, try and get a run up off. Not going to happen. He's going to go to the 48. That's going to lose Devin Sarah a lot of time to the corner and off onto the backstretch. 44 easily gets that run down on the bottom. Going to turn 3, see if they can get about even throughout the turn. It looks like that 98 is going to give the 44 a little bit of a draft push through there. He's going to follow him through if he can.
Yeah, at the line, the 44 has a spot. 98's got a fender on the inside of that number 20. Devin Sarah hung out to dry right now as they work back into turns 1 and 2. Here comes the 83 of Justin Brown. He's to the inside of Devin Sarah. This is the battle for 4th position as Mitch Brown has pulled away in front of him. The 83 still there on the inside of Sarah. Sarah losing a ton of time after losing the lead to Mitch Brown about 3 laps ago.
Yeah, Devin starting on the pole tonight, all the way back to 3rd right now. Inside of him, you got the 83 of Justin Brown, started in 3rd right behind him. He's now falling back to 5th, trying to take that 4th spot from Devin as they go through turn 2 off the corner of the 24 of Alan Young. Now he's showing up, gaining some time right now. Alan qualified in 9th all the way up to 6th.
Yeah, a little uncharacteristic for that 24. He's normally about a mid-pack truck, but it's chase time. It's go time. He needs to keep that 24 towards as far front as he possibly can. He's going to lose some time there to the 20. You'll see if Sarah can squeeze in between them. He's not going to be able to. He's trying to get the outside run on that 83 for that 4th position.
Yeah, and the 83 just doesn't have enough to dive it down in the corner and get the run up off and try to move up in front of the 20. It just won't happen yet. The 20 hanging there tough on the outside. Can't quite do it. You see the 83 get a little bit of a run, but still just not enough to get up in front of him.
And everybody's going to follow that 83 if that 20 cannot get down in line. Actually, he's going to squeeze right in front of the 24 of Alan Young. Everybody from about 1st all the way back to 13th. And a single file line as Jim Foose actually got loose coming off of turn number 2. Here comes Brad Cross underneath him. And Mogard in the 01 diving underneath that 42 as well.
Yeah, Mogard is on a mission. Oh, 89 sideways out back. John Kennedy, beautiful save by him, but he's going to lose a little bit of speed and possibly lose a spot to the 18 of Dominic Lee as they go side by side. But back to 01 of Jared Mogard. Wanted to mention he was on a tear at the start of this race, qualified 20th. He's all the way up to 12th.
Yeah, right in front of one of our chase contenders, Jim Foose. Got a new paint scheme on that Chevrolet. A couple of kitty cats.
Give him a little bit of power there, maybe. Unfortunately, though, needs to put a little bit more work as they go through the field right now. Oh, got a caution. That is out back, I believe, trying to look for the cause.
I believe that might be the 2 of Jordan Harnish.
He's got a bunch of tail-end damage there.
Yeah, he lost it, hit the apron in 3 and 4, backed it up onto the racing surface. Just actually a really good save from that 2.
Yeah, that could have caused a catastrophe if he had gone all the way up to the wall, but luckily stayed down there on the bottom lane, gave everyone plenty of room to pass him there on the high side, ended up falling back to the 30th position.
So first caution comes out on lap 11. We're working lap 12 right now of the 73 laps. And I believe you talked to a driver earlier and got what kind of fuel mileage these guys are going to be running here tonight.
Yeah, they mentioned that they could run about 32 laps. If they want to be extremely safe, they can run a max of about 31. They've got to be careful, but by that math, they can only make it, 31 on a run, multiply it, and that's not enough. If you're going to want to do 2 stops, you're going to have to do 3, and maybe this could be your first stop here. Do 11 here, and if we have a green flag run, 1, 2 more stops, and you're done. So it could be a short race in terms of time on pit lane, but we'll have to watch them here as they are all going to bring it down. Yeah,
it looks like everybody, the first truck that I saw out of line back there was 42. He's still coming in. Does look like we have all of our lead lap trucks, which is every single truck in the race right now, going to make their way down to their pit stalls We're going to try and get this race off pit road as Mitch Brown is in his stall. There's Sarah parked it in his stall. Don't know if anybody else saw that, but looked like Mitch Brown was on pogo sticks there for a second.
Yeah, a little bit. Actually, the 98 of Sam Maxwell kind of shot past his pit box a little bit there. Had to back up. Easily going to go to the 48 of Mitch Brown.
Actually, he got around. Well, he did come out in front of Devin Sarah there. The 98 did, but he did lose that one spot to the 83 of Justin Brown. Race off as Mitch Brown, Michael Atkins, Justin Brown, Sam Maxwell, and Devin Sarah, your top 5. Looks like Steve Ritter made it up to 6th to knock him off pit lane in 7th. What car is that?
You looking at the 05 maybe?
05, yeah.
Pat Russia. Yeah, his paint scheme's a little scary there. Maybe for the Halloween race tonight. I don't want to look at that anymore. But
too spooky.
I went in a rear chase to look at that hood. I'm good. He can maybe intimidate a couple other drivers, but I'll call it from above. How about that?
That's nice. I dig that. And looks like we get ready to go back. The green lights are off of that iRacing pace car in front of the field. Mitch Brown going to lead the field back to the green flag. Going to have Michael Atkins Jr. to his outside. And that 44, he was a man on a mission on that first stint. Got up to 2nd position. And he's looking to take that win. Told me earlier that he feels pretty confident here as long as he can get out front early.
Yeah, I wanted to give you guys a quick read on the weather. Sorry about that. We showed it to you, but weren't able to call it out as we went to start the race very quickly there. Looks like we've got clear conditions. Right at the beginning, we had an air temp of 65, a track temp of 92, and humidity at 32 with a brisk wind, 14 miles per hour out of the east.
That's going to keep the drivers nice and cool.
A little bit. That's a good race day right there.
Oh, yeah. And pace car back off. We're going to restart here. Mitch Brown down and away. Green flag back out onto the raceway here at Texas. Mitch Brown gets a good jump over Michael Atkins Jr., who's under attack from that 83 of Justin Brown heading off into turn number 1.
Ooh, got a little bit of trash talking going on right now. Looks like a lot of people had to check up in the back, but in the meantime, we're going to keep up in the top 4. It looks like they were trying to go single file for just a little bit. Maybe the 44 going to dive in there, just barely able to stick his front end in there before that 83 can close the door, and that 83 is going to coast on back. Hopefully try to get down to single file here. If he can squeeze in, and he does, easily going to be there, as it looks really like our top 5, top 6 are able to pull away a little bit.
Tell you what, that 44 must have had a lot of grease put on the front end of that 44 to fill in that hole right there. Back, well, actually, here comes Devin Sarah to the inside of Sam Maxwell, rolling into turn number 3. Maxwell going to have to take that middle lane. He's going to come down and onto the door of Devin Sarah. Looks like Sarah's going to take that spot over at the line completely. Sarah back up to 4th.
And for anyone that might have forgotten, the 98 of Sam Maxwell easily made it into the chase, but he decided to take, what would you call that? Maybe sit out of the race. Maybe the chase, thinking that it wasn't really fair that he was the main sponsor of the series, and waited a little bit on that. But Sam Maxwell really has the talent to run in these types of races, and he's showing it.
I'm sorry, our producer had his notification on, and it was the Fred Flintstone feet. That got me tickled. Anyways, Sarah getting around that 83 there, Justin Brown.
Oh, the 78 the 78 and the 70 crashed at the end of the front stretch. No caution. No caution. The 70 has some heavy damage here.
That's
78 trying to get back up to speed as well.
Yeah, Jonathan Holstein used to be a chase driver. He's crab walking that thing. He's gonna have to tow, or else he's gonna become a big hazard here on the backstretch with the field just now getting to his truck limping around on the apron. That 70, he's probably gonna have to, if he hasn't already, he's gonna have to take that tow here soon. I mean, he's got it under control, but it ain't supposed to be going that way.
It's toast. It's toast right now. And for anyone that doesn't know, they do not have a fast repair to use. They don't use them in the series. and they have an incident limit of 17. So keep an eye on that. But it really does look like that truck is toast for tonight.
Yeah, and Devin, I mean, he's been put into more battles than a lot of these drivers here. He was just trying to get around the outside at 83. Maxwell stuck his nose into the inside. Ended up evening out there, coming out of 2 last go around. Top 6 though. In line, Mitch Brown leading that charge. Pat Russia right behind him in a little bit of a break. He's got Alan Young behind him as well. Brad Cross back here racing with teammate Jared Mogard. And it just looks like pretty much everybody who is on the lead lap here is basically single file. I don't know what happened to Pete Baskins, but he was doing a little bit of an internet dance right there.
Yeah, he actually was following the 56 through the track and just kind of lost a little contact with his truck there. He had a little bit of internet issues, but he might have it back going under him here. But I did want to mention someone we just talked about was the 05 of Pat Russia going side by side with 24 of Alan Young, who is in the chase. Pat has not run a lot of races with us. In fact, this is only his 5th race of this season, but 2 of those finishes have come in the top 10, 1 in the top 5. So he has been pretty efficient this season of the races he has decided to run.
Yeah, battle for 3rd though. Devin Serra to the inside at 83. They're close. 83 pinched him down to the bottom. The 20 pushed up. We are coming up on that 78 of Stephen Trombley, who was involved in that incident with the 70 of Holstein earlier. Ooh, the 16 behind him, loose. Steve Ritter going to lose a ton of time to the top 5. He is holding up a couple of trucks here with that 41 and the 24. Now that 24 not taking it too kindly right now. Is it looks like everybody's back running in the same direction. That 78 Stephen Trombley becoming a roller chicane here very early on.
Yeah, he actually got loose, tagged the apron a little bit through the corner, exactly right where he is right now. And the 41 actually had to lift to avoid him as they're getting mixed up with the 78 lap down driver, Stephen Trombley. Actually got a little loose there, and everyone had to slow up. But it looks like finally the 24 into the inside of the 16. Hopefully got to pick up a spot here. Got to be careful.
Ooh! Yeah, had to back off there, almost into the left rear quarter panel of that number 16. We were 3 wide there momentarily, too, with one of our chasers in the 30 and the 05 of Pat Russia with the lap car of Trombley to the outside lane. This cluster of 6 cars, this is taking up 6th through, looks to be 12th on the track right now. And there goes Brad Cross, still on the inside of the 05.
Still trying to get that run up off. Can't quite get it there. The 05, Pat Russia still got a little bit of momentum down there on the backstretch. They're going to catch up to another team going side by side. It looks like the 41 and the 33 not happy with their positions. 33 trying to gain a few spots here. Pushing to the 41. Reminder, the 41 actually had to back off, and he really hasn't recovered from trying to catch Steve Ritter out there. But unfortunately, it looks like he's going to lose another position.
Yeah, and that 33 might look a little different this weekend. Same sponsor, but different manufacturer. This is their debut race with J-Fuse Motorsports for Tom Giannini. He's going to be in that ride full-time next year during the 2018 season.
Oh, 3 wide with Stephen Trombley in the 1594. Sorry about that. They were going 3 wide. The 15 kind of cut down a little bit too soon. That was almost a scary moment for them. But I want to shoot back up to the 33, 41 side by side. 41 has to hold it down. Oh my goodness. I don't know how Tim not saved that in the 05. Almost 3 wide with the 30. I don't know what Brad Cross is thinking there, putting yourself 3 wide while you're in the chase. You got to be a little bit more careful than that. Oh, Caution's out.
Believe the maybe the 21
19.
involved.
No, it was the 19,
19.
of Andrew Garles. Actually just spun it off a 2 by himself.
Oh, in the wall.
Yeah, got a lot of damage up front. And before that actually happened, the 3 of Pete Baskins was losing internet connection and actually smacked the wall because of it. So he is unfortunately got a lot of damage now in pit lane. 19 of Andrew Garles is going to have a lot of damage up front.
Yeah, and a change for 2nd place while we were focusing on those battles in the back. 83 actually got around the 44 of Atkins Jr., so Put the 83 up to second, the 44 back to third. Top 5 still with the same faces, just in different places. And we should be looking at the second pit stop of the night here on lap 29.
Yeah, right now they're going to cross over to be 44 laps to go. This time, as they come down the pit lane, they'll cross the line on pit lane. And they cannot make it from here. They're going to be about 10 laps short by the time they go green. So they will have to pit again. Worth mentioning, a couple drivers lost laps during that green flag run. They're going to have to stay out, not able to pit. And it looks like, to me, the 78 of Stephen Trombley should be your lucky dog winner.
Hey, should be. I think he's trying to catch up to the pace car right quick. And
yeah, he was just so far back in the field after that mishap with the 70, unfortunately. But finally, he's going to get the lead. He's easily going to get the lucky dog.
Yeah, 48, 83, 44, 20, 16, 98. Your top 6 leaving pit road there. Big ups to Steve Ritter's team there. They did, unfortunately, have a mistake on that last run. Cost them a ton of time. But the pit crew makes up for it, gains him a spot on pit lane.
Yeah, Ritter is actually brand new to the series, has not run one race with these guys. So it'll be interesting to see what he can do as his first race here with only 3 races to go. It looks like we had 2 people stay out. They were on the tail end of the lead lap there. It was the 143 of Richard Fletcher and the 17 of Richard Stallings. Stallings is going to bring it in this time, but it looks like the 143 is going to stay out.
Maybe
because of that,
the
03 can get the wave around, but the 3 cannot. Very interesting. P. Baskin still blinking though. I don't know if a wave around would help him much either. Anyway.
Yeah, not with his internet connection doing what it's doing right now. Unfortunately, it happens to the best of us. But hopefully he can get those things fixed out for the remaining 2 races on the season. Because after that, we don't race again in the trucks until February. So long off season for these drivers coming up in the next couple of weeks. A lot of silly season stuff happening behind the scenes that people who don't follow them on Facebook don't know about. A lot of interesting stuff happening for the ASRS as a whole, as well as starting in January, they are back to Cup. We're going to be broadcasting their Gen 6 Monster Energy Cup races starting the 2nd week of January on that Tuesday, and we're going to be running with them until November once again. So definitely looking forward to seeing these guys in the Cup cars.
If this is how much fun they're having in trucks, those Cup cars are going to be insane.
Well, lights off the pace car, going to get them lined up 2 by 2 over 15 rows deep, and get this thing back underway, just closing in on the halfway mark. Let's see if it's 73. We should be looking at about lap 38 or so is halfway.
Yeah, about 36 and a half. And
36
since that doesn't exist, we'll go with 37. 37 halfway. And I want to give you guys a very quick race summary. We're going to wrap around the green here. Your current leader is Mitch Brown. He has led 28 laps here tonight, so 10 more. And he's got the bonus points for most laps led. We've completed 31 so far of the scheduled 73. 3 lead changes with 2 cautions and 6 laps.
That seems about right.
Yeah, not bad. Not bad.
But race is still young right now. We have Mitch Brown. We got what can Brown do for you? Front row right now. As Mitch hanging off the pace car quite a bit there, bringing the field onto the quad oval. Green flag back out into the air here. Mitch gets a good jump over the 83. Michael Atkins Jr. going to follow that 48. Going to get to the inside of Justin Brown. Devin Sayre going to jump down below and follow that 44, hopefully trying to get around that 83.
Yeah, that was such a big start by the 48. The 83 actually took a shot to the back bumper from the 20 of Devin Sayre, now trying to pass him. Sayre down there on the bottom. easily going to be able to get third here if the 83 is going to lose another spot to the 98 of Sam Maxwell.
And I got to tell you, I mean, we have 4 of our chase contenders in the top 10. As you can, you saw the 33 of Giannini slap the wall there, getting into 1. But look for those yellow windshield banners and spoilers and truck bars coming from the top of the roof to the bed.
Splitters as well, it looks like.
Yeah, it does look like it.
Look, if you see the car with a bunch of yellow and random plates, there you go. That's what our chase will look like.
Besides Giannini. And, yeah, so, I mean, the other 2 chasers, Jim Foose and Jason Stewart, back there in 16th and 19th, respectively. They're going to have to turn the wick up here as we are approaching halfway.
Yeah, I'll tell you someone that's turning it up is the 20 of Devin Serra. Easily made a pass by the 44 of Michael Atkins Jr. Might think Michael could have just given him that spot. Not worth risking it right now as we're going to cross over to halfway this time.
And it might come back to bite him as that 98 was all over that rear bumper of that 44. It lost a little bit of time. Here comes the 83 trying to take over 4th place from Sam Maxwell. Justin Brown putting together a great run here tonight. Top 5 all night for that DC Solar Chevrolet.
Yeah, Justin Brown has run a few races, and quite a bit actually, on these types of tracks here, the 1.5-mile type tracks. And it looks like he's got a pretty good record there as he's trying to steal the spot away from the 98 of Sam Maxwell, who, of course, has been Mr. Consistency on these type of tracks here. So it's really tough to get by the 98 if he can do it. Try to dive down there on the corner. Got to move up a little bit as the 98 squeezes him down a little bit.
And we got pretty much 2 5-car breakaways, the top 5, then 6th through 10th, 11th through 14th are in a little bit of a pack too. Just a tiny bit of separation as Brown is underneath the 44 going for 3rd now. Atkins Jr. to the high side, had to move up a lane. Here comes Sam Maxwell, going to follow to 83. Michael Atkins back to 5th place.
Yeah, I really do think that Michael is just taking it easy. He's 5th on the track right now, and he's easily top 4 of the chase drivers, and that's all you have to be, by the end of this race in Phoenix. That's all you have to do is just be in the top 4 to make it to the end race at Homestead.
And the drivers that need a good finish right now, Devin almost went for the race lead there on Mitch Brown. He did. He pushed up the track. And the wall is the 48. Mitch Brown going to lose a ton of time. That was completely unnecessary right there. I've never heard that one before.
Well, it actually wasn't even, it wasn't the 20, it was the 48. He actually got down, clipped the apron. He did to himself, clipped the apron, washed up at the top end of the track, hit the outside wall, and he's now going to fall back to the 11th position so far.
Yeah, almost got split 3 wide there, about a 41 and 05. They've been sticking close together for the majority of the race, but yeah, actually going back and looking at it, Mitch, unfortunately, a costly mistake for himself. All the way back, he just got bumped by the 41 going into turn 1 there. That Discover Rhode Island Chevrolet looks like his chances of winning are just about all but over.
I tell you, someone's chances that keep getting better by the second right now. It's 24 of Alan Young just stole a spot from the 44 and dived down under the 83 as well. Gained him a couple of positions, and he got a close battle right here, starting with 3rd on the track.
Yeah, up to 3rd. I mean, highest we've seen that 24 run all night, but we are about to have a throwdown for that top spot. Sam Maxwell sticking with Sarah as they roll into turns number 3, going into 4. And Sarah's still going to have the point right now, but Sam Maxwell, he is a man on a mission. He wants to win himself another race. Only 1 win on the season, even though he's been, extremely consistent throughout the year. Had a couple of them stole from him in closing laps.
Well, he's had 3 second places, and then I believe another 3 third place finishes. So he's finished on the podium so many times this season. But you're right, only 1 win, and that came at Bristol.
Yeah, back in the pack, the 44 and the 33. Well, throwing elbows there. They touched in the middle of 3 and 4, got the 44 up the track. Giannini's going to take that spot from Michael Atkins Jr. He's got a good run, diamonding the exit off. He's going to go to the inside with the crossover move. Here comes Atkins Jr. to take back over that 6th position.
Oh, 44 is pitting here. He's betting it's going to go green. 30 goes out of it.
77 just about ran over whoever that was in front of him. I think that was Tim Knott.
A reminder, the 44 of Michael Atkins Jr. is pitting. He is betting that this is going to go green, and he better hope it does. He can make it on fuel from here, but if there is a yellow that comes out and he winds himself a lap down, my goodness, this could be a nightmare.
Coming into the race, he only had a 9-point advantage over Brad Cross. Here comes the leader. He's got to get it slowed down.
Look at him on the track, though. 24, 98 side by side for the new lead. Oh, the 24 is going to get there. He did not lead that lap. The 98 led it, but the 24 is going to grab that from him.
Yeah, and they can make it the rest of the way if this thing stays green. Here comes Maxwell to the inside. Once again, Alan Young to the middle of the track. Maxwell trying to get that lead back from that number 24 after the great move. Oh, my goodness gracious.
3 wide, 48, 30, 77. Oh, sorry, this is too close not to call. That 30 is getting squeezed down there in the middle. He's got to be so careful. He's putting himself in the middle of 2 non-chasers here. I mean, he's easily got the most to lose.
I can tell you why that happened. Steve Ritter was trying to slow down for pit lane and was still in the middle of the track trying to turn down onto the pit lane. Here comes Maxwell into pit. So the battle's going to simmer down for Young.
They've got to be careful. There is such a large chance that they're going to speed here. They're bringing so much speed down to the pit lane. 33 going to go side by side with the 01 of Jared Mogard. Jared going to slide slam him. Oh my goodness. How did that 33 save it?
Apologies over the radio. And 33 extremely slow there. Pat got around. Here comes Giannini into pit lane. Right in front of the 48 into 30.
He is so fast.
Oh, he's very hot. He's loose.
33 hits the inside wall. No caution. Could not be one. Oh, we've got another person coming in. The pit slams into it. The 56 of Ian Hayes. Oh, let's get it go back on track. The 24 still leading it here. Justin Brown is in second.
He's coming
24 going to come in. Oh, nice slowdown by the 24 of Alan Young. Beautifully done.
Yeah, his
easily
entry,
going to get down to speed.
He had a good entry there. The 16 was a whole lane up. That's why we saw that 3 wide between that 77 and company just a few laps ago. Justin Brown, though, to the point, going to lead his first lap on the night. Got Mogard in second, right behind him. Pat Russia in third. Looking for the rest of these leaders to come down to pit lane. We're going to complete lap 50. That's going to give us 23 to go.
Oh, 48 in. Just able to sneak down there. Mitch Brown going to have the speed of the line. Back up front. Justin Brown has your lead. A little bit of a battle going on. 01, 05. Back here for second and third.
And come back to the 30 real quick. Brad Cross going to get passed by the 44. That's how much tires mean on this racetrack. The 44 back in 22nd, the 30 in the 4th position.
Oh, we've got a lot of people bringing it in. This could be dangerous.
Yeah, the 01 coming in. Brad Cross! Caution is out. Kevin Mingus wrecked on the front stretch. Brad, what happened there? Brad Cross, oh, geez, he was slowing up in front of, I believe that's the 15 of Jeremy Banning. And the 94 didn't realize that the 15 was slowing down that much. Went high, wide, and just smacked the tar out of that wall.
Yeah, the 30 was way too high bringing it into the pits. Ended up smacking the inside wall of pit lane there. I'll be perfectly honest, I have no clue why those drivers decided to pit. We had so much time for a yellow, and it ended up these guys pitting caused the yellow. So I don't know. I'm at a loss for words, honestly, but hey, it's the strategy they chose. And because that happened, if I'm correct, they've got 13 drivers. 13 drivers on the lead lap right now.
Yeah, that would be correct, but all the rest of our leaders are going to come in That's going to give our lap down drivers an opportunity to take the wave around. The thing is, Michael Atkins Jr. pretty much led the brigade down to pit lane, and he came in on lap 45, so he's got about 5 to 5.5 green flag laps on these tires right now, as we should see our leaders dive into the pit lane. The big thing, though, is Brad Cross. He's going to get a black flag for speeding on pit lane, and he can only serve that under green. So that's going to pretty much end his chances of winning. He was sneaking up there, too. Made it into the top 10 right before our pit window opened for our leaders.
Yeah, and I'm just double checking here. I don't imagine anyone's going to stay out, well, except for, of course, the 30th, Brad Cross. He's staying out. He was on the lead lap there. He did decide to pit, but got back up to speed, did not actually stop and take tires. So he did not lose a lap there. And because of that, it looks like to me we've got Sam Maxwell, Jared Hogard, Stephen Trumley, Michael Atkins Jr. They're on the tail end of the lead lap in front of Brad Cross.
One guy I want to check on. Oh, he's falling to the back right now. Okay, that's no bueno.
Oh, the one of Jason Stewart.
Yeah, because he was just a lap down, so I don't believe he got to. He might have got down to pit lane as soon as the caution came out. Actually, no, he's still running around the track, so he must have already been a lap down when that caution came out. Tough break for the one. I mean, as of right now, the only chase driver that was actually on the lead lap when that came out, besides Brad Cross, but he was on the pits, was Jim Foose. Actually, yeah.
Jim Foose, you're
when
right.
the caution came out, Stewart was coming into pit. Caution came out. He's going to get a black flag for pitting under a closed pit, which
really unfortunate. You can't predict that. There's just no way.
No.
You know, you can save that. When you're committed, you're committed. You're not going to pull that big machine off of the pit lane with what, maybe a 2-second decision. It's just not going to happen.
Yeah, I mean, he was already past just about at the stripe to commit. I mean, just a split second. Unfortunately, you know, he was there. He was the last driver in on points, and only 3 above the cut line in front of Brad Cross, who is also going to have to go a lap down with a black flag. So still major, a lot of major implications here for our chase contenders.
Yeah, you know, I'm going back through the footage and looking at it, and it's almost just falling into the 42's lap right now. What happened, the way the caution came out, the timing of the caution, everyone coming in early, which I don't understand the decision. I mean, maybe from practice, maybe from warm up, they thought, oh well, it's green, there's just no way we're gonna have a caution. But so many cars were still active, so many trucks were still on this racetrack. I mean, someone could have just, kind of disconnect or just slipped up and washed into someone, which is so realistic here. I don't know where that strategy came from to pit under green, but hey, look, it's done. They've made a decision. They've got to lay in the bed they've made, so do what they can do coming back to the green here.
And the biggest thing right now is for all of these drivers taking the wave around. It looks like Mogard, Atkins, Sarah, Young, those guys up towards the front, they're going to have to hope for a quickie yellow here to come down and get fresh tires, because they have, like I said, Atkins has got at least 5 laps on his tires. I believe Sarah came in the lap after, so he's got at least 4 laps on his tires. And continuing on through the rest of the field as pace car getting ready to pull off for what could be the final time tonight. Going to complete lap 56, start lap 57 with the 83. Green flag back out into the air. A good start from Pat Rusher on that outside lane, and Jeremy Banning right behind that 83, but Justin Brown has the lead going into 1.
Absolutely, going side by side. Worth reminding you, the 30 of Brad Cross, he has to come down. He has a black flag, losing all these positions. He's on the lead lap, so he would only lose 1 lap right now, not in the worst position 83 out front, 15th. In third, Pat Russia leading the field right now. The 42, though, going to dive down underneath him.
I tell you what, that 30 pulled the parachute out there real quick. I mean, he dropped to the back like a rock. He's coming in to serve that black flag as we speak. But we're just about 3 wide for second up front. Foose almost went to the inside of Banning. Got Pat Russia to the outside. He really likes that outside lane. He's been there all night.
Yeah, Foose really needs to jump on this and try to get the best finish again, but don't put himself in trouble. He's easily going to gain a lot of points here tonight if this is the last restart. So got to be careful up front. You find yourself in 4th, and you could get a win here. Just got to be careful side by side up in front of him.
Yeah, he's brought his teammate in the 43 of Steve Holla, who's working up here, and this falls into the lap.
That's the one in the 48. Unbelievable.
That
Jason
falls
Stewart
right into the laps of those guys who just had to take the wave around. It just looks like the one didn't realize how far up or the 48 was. I mean, he was already on the wall there at the start-finish line. Unfortunately, pretty good buddies there getting tangled up towards the end of this race.
Yeah, the good news is he stayed on the lead lap. The bad news is he's got a lot of damage. And unfortunately, unlike Lucas Oil, you could get away with a little bit of damage there. You can't here. Here it's very important for the way these cars are built. You just can't take a lot of damage. And he's got a bunch both to the front and back of that car.
Now, Mogard and Maxwell were like shot out of a cannon there. They got around a couple of these drivers up here all the way back up into 12th. We should be seeing that 01 and on back come into pit, get fresh tires for the remaining race here. We're working lap 60. As soon as they cross the line, we're looking at 13 laps to go.
And I believe it should be the 25 of Chris Titus should get your lucky dog here.
And Michael,
wait to see once they come down.
Yeah, Atkins, first one to come down. Sarah's going to follow suit with Young, Ritter, Lee in the 18, Knott, and everybody else behind him. Back to Grider. Going to come in to pit lane. Take fresh Goodyear. It should be Wranglers on the trucks, but we're just going to call them Eagles right now. Yeah, Titus gets that wave around, and this is shaping up to be a dare I say, this is going to be a, I'm trying to look for a good word, slobber knocker here at the end of this race.
That's one way to put it. Looks like the 44, Michael Atkins coming off pit lane first. That puts him in the 15th position, back behind a lot of good drivers here. And ooh, this is going to be a nice shootout here at the end.
Well, I don't think, I mean, they're going to go back to green with just under 10 laps to go. I don't think they have enough time to get to the front because, I mean, you got to think the guys from 12th on up, or 11th on up, excuse me, are only on like maybe 2 race lap old tires.
Very true. It's all going to be on where they can catch them.
Yeah, Texas is very abrasive on these tires. But I don't think that they're going to be able to get all the way back up to the front. We might see one of those drivers hit the top 5, but I don't see them getting back up to the front, especially with the amount of time we have left.
No, I agree here, and I'm going to give you guys another race summary as we might be coming down to the last restart of the race. So far, our leader is Justin Brown. He's led 13 laps tonight, 61 laps completed out of the total 73. We've had 7 lead changes and 4 cautions for 13 laps. I almost don't want to pull for the 05 because of that hood, but you know what? I think Pat Russia might have something for him.
I think he does too. I mean, he's racing back there with the likes of, you know, Mogard and let's see, Alan Young and Tim Knott. All race long, and you know those are easily top 5, top 10 competitors any given week, no matter what track you go to. And I think he's got a good shot. It's going to be, it's going to come down to this restart here with Justin Brown, how much he, how much he plays the mind game with that outside lane. Jeremy Banning also has a chance as well, but I still wouldn't count out that 42 of Jim Foose as the lights have gone off of the pace car. We're looking at 11 to go right now. Going to restart with exactly 10 laps to go.
Yeah, for we've given you a little bit of a update on the 83 and the 05. Want to mention the 15 of Jeremy Banning. This is actually his sixth race of this series, and he's gotten a couple of top 10s, even a couple of top 5s. So he has been very good this season of the races he's attempted, an average finish of 11th. So very good there. Hopefully going to maybe get his first top 3 possibly here. Keep an eye on that. He might have something for him as well.
All right, now is the it's down to crunch time. Pace car is going to roll him through 3 and 4 one more time. Looking towards the back of the field, we're looking at the first guy on fresh tires in row number 8 on the inside. So a lot of ground to make up for that 44. But this 83, Justin Brown, coming to the start-finish line, going to take the green flag. We are underway again here at Texas. Good start from that 05, getting pushed by the 42 as they head off towards turn 1.
Yeah, the 83 actually shot to the back number of that truck from the 15 of Jeremy Banning. Banning was ready to get going. And look back behind him, the 43 of Steve Bahala, bringing something to the 05.
Yeah, and we just about had a 3-wide massacre back there as well towards the back of the pack. But anyway, I mean, there's a lot of 3-wide happening all over the place. I mean, back here, big wreck! Giannini up and into the atmosphere.
Ooh, I believe that was the 03 of Jacob Ryder involved in that.
Yeah,
Alan Young involved.
Tim Knott looks to be, is that Devin Serra as well?
We had another wreck on the front stretch immediately following that. Oh my goodness. The 01 involved, it looks like the 98. It was the 98 of Sam Maxwell. Got into the side of the 64. They went 4 wide on the front stretch. That's not going to happen here, guys. 0177 involved.
Ooh, my Maxwell goodness. In the air.
Unbelievable. So many damaged trucks here. The 24 took a big hit to the front of his truck.
And 64 went for the spin cycle there. Or that's tumble drive, excuse me.
That was absolutely crazy. I think we ended up having 3 separate accidents there. I don't know what happened. Unbelievable. These drivers competing a little bit too much. But what's funny is the one that involved the chase drivers happened after the initial wreck in turn 3. They wrecked on the front stretch.
Yeah, it looks like the 20 was trying to shoot below the 98. That'd have been 4 wide anyways. But the 01, yeah, we're gonna make it a little sick here. 44 heavy into the underside of that 98 of Maxwell as well. Going to go on board with the 64, and if you are too bad this isn't an airplane and sick bag, it just didn't drop out the top of the roof.
Yeah, it was a little bit of a ride. I mean, he just completely got turned there. And oh my goodness, he went on a tumble. I think that's an understatement. But hey, someone that got the lucky dog, the 30 of Brad Cross, exactly what he needed after a couple of our chase drivers got in trouble there.
Well, the good thing is we will go back to green. The bad thing is that cautions have bred cautions, and they normally breed more cautions. So that 83 definitely going to have to be on his A game on this last restart. It will be the last restart of the night, as we are closing in on closing lap 66, opening lap 67. Still got the lights on pace car. Going to get one more time around here, and then the lights will shut off. I mean, really, you got to look at, you know, a couple of those guys involved. I mean, Dominic Lee back there trying to make a move work on fresh tires in the 18. That's what started the conundrum in the back, 3 wide. I mean, if y'all didn't get to see Janini's little ride there, because
Well, they did. You got to see a bit of it. He
that
got
was
shot into the air. That was in turn 3, and then on the front stretch we had another battle, or another wreck, I should say, and actually something that was started with that battle on the front stretch. Actually, they had another wreck in turn 1. It was a little bit of excitement during that caution, but we think we've got it handled right now. I want to give you guys a little bit of a rundown of what our field looks like as we're still under caution here. Currently, we have 21 drivers on the lead lap right now. That's about to go down to 20 as Sam Maxwell in 21st is on pit lane with tons of damage here. A bunch of guys 1 lap down, 22nd through 26th. A couple of guys 2 laps down, 27th through 30th. And we've got a couple of drivers that are already out of the race. That is the 17 of Richard Stallings, the 70 of Jonathan Holstein, the 3 of Pete Baskins, and the 2 of Jordan Harnish, all out of this race already. And who knows what's going to come next. A reminder, they cannot have another restart. This will absolutely be the next flag ends it once they take the green, and it should lead to an amazing finish.
And let's see. Really, the guys on fresh tires got up 2 rows. I mean, we're looking at the 20 right now. Devin Sarah, freshest tires in the field, furthest up in the field. He's definitely going to have to get after it on this restart. Let's see. We're going to complete lap 68, go to 69. We're going to have, it should be 5 laps to go when we hit that start-finish line. Maybe 4. It depends on math.
Yeah, it'll be 5 laps to go here. Absolutely, and that, of course, means once you get down to 5 to go, if the caution comes out, that flag ends it. So they've got to be very careful here. If a caution comes out in the back end of the field, pay attention up front. 83, though, I think he has it here. He's got to be careful.
Yeah, tell whoever you got in the room with you to go get you some tape so you can take them eyelids wide open. Do not blink. Green flag back out to the air to 83. Has a slow start. Here comes the 15 on the outside. Banning.
15
that outside charge.
That was a massive jump by the 15. Oh, they've got to be careful here. They're bouncing off of each other in the back, but up front, still a battle side by side. 83 going to move him up a little bit on the racetrack to 15. Not happy about that. He's going to have to take the wide, and that's going to lose him that position to 83 to the lead. Oh,
there it is. They're saving it. They're saving it. They're saving it. Oh, no. Sarah's involved.
Oh.
Big wreck. 83 wins it.
And look who finished second, Jim Foose. Can you believe it? Oh, my goodness. Devin Sarah got up to 6th. 44 of Michael Atkins Jr. got up to 5th. I can't, but I've never seen that coming. Oh, my goodness.
Oh, Sarah's got a bad motor right now. He's going to have to nurse that back around for another 3 laps, 3.5 laps to be a matter of fact.
They took 4 to go
when
that wreck happened.
Yeah, Mogard's got a bad motor. This is nuts. I mean, you do have 3 of our chase drivers in the top 10, and then Brad Cross back in 12th is 4th, and I see Jason Stewart and where's the other guy?
Yeah, and that
Alan
was
Young.
That was just nothing but a turn by the 05 Pat Rush. It moved up the track, got the 15. 15, of course, could not save it. I mean, that car was all out of whack. Took a hit from the 89. He absolutely took a bunch of cars with him, including the 01 of Jared Morgan, who absolutely shot the 15 to the side. Jared Morgan, his engine was toast. After that, he's still coasting, but I don't know if he can make it.
Yeah, I'm thinking the same about the 20 as well. Man, that 15, such a good restart, and to have it in like that. I mean, he was trying to get across that 05's nose to drop into the line. The 05 was there. I mean, it wasn't like the 05 was on the apron right there. It's just a 2 objects cannot occupy the same space at the same time. Just
absolutely
matter of
not.
physics.
Well, Jared Mogard, if he doesn't make it here, as disappointing as that would be, oh wow, he just turned on the mosquito smoker here. Oh my goodness. If he can't make it, as disappointing as that would be, he was not in the chase, so it has no real effect in the points in terms of our chase contenders. But the 20, his absolutely would affect all of these chase drivers here. They've got to be so careful. You can actually tell they're shutting off their engines, trying to kind of coast it around here.
Yeah, I mean, just a shame there. That race was shaping up to be something spectacular. I mean, it did end in a bang, but that race could have been so much more there with those final 4 laps. Um, Unfortunately, that's just how the cookie crumbles sometimes.
And look, sometimes it's better safe than sorry, and that was what happened to the 42 of Jim Foose. I mean, he got into the top 5. He was conservative. He was taking his time, being meticulous about it, and he finished second after making it through that wreck.
The thing is, I mean, he was 17 points back coming into this race, and he finished over 17 points ahead of Stewart. I don't believe he led a lap tonight, but he's still going to be right there on that bubble. I mean, him, Stewart, Cross had a good recovery there. He finished 13th, but he was 15 points back from Alan Young, who is going to finish in 16th. So, I mean, they only gained, Foose gained 14 points.
We got a development here. The 83 has brought it into the pits. The 42 will be your leader.
I think he paid him off.
What in the world? They are not listed under the same team. I do not know what's going on. Jim Foose is going to win this race? Oh, and Devin Sarah just blew his engine.
That was funny. He sounded like Cleveland off the Cleveland show. He's like, no, no, no.
Devin Sarah's engine is gone. Oh my goodness, this is a nightmare.
I'm still flabbergasted about
Justin Brown giving up a win. Devin Sarah is trying to coast around. He's not going to be able to do it. They are on the last lap. No. He just needs to make it back to green, but he just doesn't have enough speed. He was going 15 miles per hour, holding up everyone else. He's got to tow it back. That will put him the last car on the lead lap, which would be 18th.
Well, it came with everything but a bow. Jim Foose going to take the checkered flag here in that number 42 Silverado. Your winner here for the Masterworks Residential 175K.
I have no words. I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. We have no affiliations, at least nothing in the booth telling us that Justin Brown is affiliated in any way with the 42 of Jim Foose. But apparently, Justin Brown, a little bit of charity here. Maybe an early Christmas present.
The thing that looks deficious to me, and I mean, I'm not going to take anything away from Foose. I mean, he made the right call there at the right time, stayed out, avoided that last wreck, and was going to coast to a second place finish.
Yeah, easily.
But the 83 could have pitted, put fuel in the car, and got back out onto the track and still finished in 16th. So,
wow. And what'll be interesting is to get a read on everyone else in the chase. What do they think? Oh my goodness. Well, I can't really do anything about it. Jim Foose, your winner here tonight. An impressive run. He was able to get himself in second, and that wouldn't have happened if it weren't for him staying out under the green flag situation. Everyone decided to bring it to the pits. They had to bet on a green flag run, and they lost that bet. Jim Foose betting right here at Texas.
Yeah, I mean, hey, it's in the record book, so,
Yeah, nothing in the records is going to say Justin Brown pulled down on the pit lane, and Jim Foose likes it that way. He's going to have a win, and this absolutely will gain him tons of points, really, tons of points.
Well, it locks him in.
Especially on Well, really, on Jason Stewart. Jason Stewart is kind of the big loser of tonight. Unfortunately for him, and even right in front of him, Devin Sarah busting an engine at the last second.
I mean, that locks Foose into the championship four at Homestead, Miami in 2 weeks' time. Going to give you your unofficial results. The 42 of Jim Foose takes the win here at Texas. Steve Buhala in second. Great run from Steve. Scott Smith going to come home in third. Fourth, John Kennedy. Jared Mogar going to round out your top five. Jay Graves Jr. in sixth. Chase contender Michael Atkins Jr. in seventh. Kevin Mingus, 8th. Alex Geese in 9th. And Chris Titus going to have a top 10. Then you have Brad Cross, another contender, in 11th. Tim Knott in 12th. Jacob Grider, 13th. Alan Young, another chaser, in 14th. 15th, Steve Ritter. Ian Hayes, 16th. Last car on the lead lap, one lap down, going to be the 20 of Devin Sarah. And 17th. 18th, Justin Brown. Stephen Trombley in 19th, and 20th, Jason Stewart, another one of our chase contenders. Richard Fletcher, 21st. 22nd is Mitch Brown. Andrew Garrels in 23rd. Jeremy Banning, 24th. Pat Russia, 25th. Dominic Lee in 26th. 27th, Sam Maxwell. Lee Staples in 28th. 29th, Scott Holler. And Tom Giannini going to round out your top 30. Richard Stallings in 31st. 32nd, Jonathan Holstein. Pete Baskins in 33. 34th is Jordan Harnish, our last truck, 47 laps down. And I'm just going to go ahead and pause that because that was pretty loud in my ear. But we're going to wait for our drivers to get in here, get into the pre-interview room. And I believe we do have third place. And I'm going to see if we can't get a word with him here. And just okay, we're going to, you know, I mean, I don't know where I'm going with this right now, but our, you know, that was just a big shakeup for the standings. I mean, like I mentioned earlier, Jim Foose locks himself into Homestead. They're going to have a chance to go back-to-back with the Truck Series championships. And, you know, see Jason Stewart going to fall probably to the bottom of the totem pole right now as looks like Brad Cross finished 11th. He finished 20th. So he gained 9 points on Stu. So he's going to be 6 points ahead of Stu. But Brad Cross is still going to be in that 5th position. And it should be right. No, actually, Sarah will probably be in the 5th position with Cross. Right there with him. Atkins in 7th, finishing in 7th place right now. He's just everything but a shoe-in to advance over to Phoenix. Of course, the most points that they can gain in a night. You get 36 for the win, plus 1 for laps led. So, you know, you can make 37 points a night. Excuse me. And yeah, still waiting on a couple of guys here. I'm pretty sure that we are still having mic issues with their 3rd place driver, are we not?
Yes, we are. Yeah, they're just trying to jump in from the race into the booth here, trying to get them set up. They're not used to Scott Smith, not used to talking on the mic. After the season he's had a little bit of difficulty. Scott actually finds himself before this race 20th in points. His best finish, it looks like, was 8th before this. So this will be our first time getting Scott Smith in the booth here. So it'll be good to talk to him once he gets his mic set up. And, you know, Wes, I don't know if you mentioned this or not, but I had talked to a few chase drivers after that finish, and a couple of them a little confused, a little unsure as to how Jim ended up finding himself in victory lane here.
Yeah, it's a big topic of conversation. Definitely going to be heading into next week. I honestly don't know.
Yeah, correct me if I'm wrong, but it wouldn't be that big of a deal if it was just points. But here, where a win locks you into the next round, this new format that's emerged, that changes everything.
Yeah, I mean, he just punched an automatic ticket to Homestead. I mean, none of our chasers got to do it last week, so I mean, they only had 2 shots to um, automatically advance into Homestead. We did have one of those tickets taken tonight here by that 42 of Jim Foose at Texas. Next week, though, in Phoenix, I believe the gloves are going to be off for the remaining 5 chase contenders. And, you know, um, I wouldn't want to be in 5th or 6th position at the end of that night. But, you know, all's fair in love and war, I reckon. And we're about to have a big old war here trying to get down to our final 4 next week at Phoenix. We'll be live for 75 laps in honor of our veterans at Phoenix under the lights. Not a lot of night races, even though we just came from a night race at Lucas Oil, but not a lot of night races on the schedule for the Sam Maxwell Customs ASRS Truck Series. I'm just hoping that there wasn't anything, going on with what transpired there in the last 2 laps. I wouldn't think that it would happen to be, a little bit of a, I think they call it rigging, but I wouldn't like to think, especially, after as long as the season has been. I mean, we started February 21st. We're all the way into November now. So, I mean, I would hope, after all this time that somebody's championship hopes will not get dashed because of, these kinds of circumstances.
Yeah, well, unfortunately, we can't seem to get Scott over the mic. Really having major mic issues. So, with Steve Bahala not able to jump in the booth, we're gonna jump right to our winner of the race, the 42 of Jim Foose. Hey, Jim, you got us?
I got you guys. How about that?
How about that? What's a way to do it? You qualified 12th here tonight. Had a decent car, it seemed. Practice 24th, really jumped up there in qualifying. And then, of course, in the race, you finished first here. What were you thinking early on?
Early on, we did a lot of testing in qualifying trim just to try to get a good start because track position is key at a lot of these mile and a half, and especially here at Texas because you can run multiple grooves, but the preferred lane and the fast lane around, or fast way around, is at the bottom. So we really wanted to qualify in the front third half of the field, somewhere in there, and be able to have the track position to start and not have to gain it later on. And the race started out, we dropped back a little bit, and I was getting a little bit worried. I thought that we lost what we had, but the PetSmart Charities, Totes McGoats, Chevy Silverado came through in the end.
Yeah, and I have to ask you about the strategy here tonight. It seemed what really cost a couple of guys that were leading up front, made them lose a lap there, was deciding to pit under green. They had plenty of laps left for a caution to come out, and of course, pitting actually ended up causing that caution. What was going through your mind? Did you ever plan to come down under green for those few laps, or were you going to run it until it was out?
Originally, we wanted to be the first truck on pit lane, and I think the 44 came over the radio and said he was pitting, and I was like, okay, it's a little early. So we wanted to have the freshest tires, be able to battle back through and take advantage of those. And as other people pitted, they were dropping off. I think we were running we moved up to 10th, then into maybe 6th or something like that, maybe 5th. And I said, well, we're just going to stay out here for a few more laps because there are quite a few guys that still have to get to pit road that haven't been good at that this year. So it was like, okay, we're just going to stay out, see how this goes. If we don't get a caution in the next lap or two, we're coming in. And sure enough, I was thinking about coming in with the 1, and I see the 94 go one way, then the other. I was like, uh-oh, I think we're going to get a caution. So I stayed out. I called Steve to stay out. And somehow or another, I called pit strategy on 2 trucks tonight. But Steve was on his way to pit road, and we both stayed out. We were able to take advantage of that and then just hold on at the end through a little bit of a wild finish here at Texas.
Yeah. That's the next thing we got to talk about. Really, the last thing we got to talk about is what in the world happened there. We were looking up some information, and there seems to be no team connection to between you and Justin Brown. Justin Brown, of course, his own motorsports team he's a part of, and you're part of your own there. It seems to me like that was a completely random decision from the 83 to come down after he had Wealth of Victory completely in his hands.
Yeah, and I don't know. I don't know if he just miscounted laps or what it was, but I'm in my truck and I was like, all right. I said to Steve, I says maybe we'll go down to the apron and fake pit, just to mess with everybody. And I mean, obviously the green's not going to come back out, but maybe catch somebody doing it. And before I could even get down there, I'm like, where's he going? And I don't know. I mean, Justin and I have actually, believe it or not, had some instances where we don't get along that great. I guess I got to send him a Christmas card now, but I mean, earlier in the year we had some differences of opinion, and I heard one of the drivers after the race came over and said, yeah, I'd like things to be handed to me, and I mean, what can I say? I don't drive other people's trucks, and I've given a lot of guys in this league a shot with nice looking trucks, tried to help them out, putting up practices for our team and doing a lot of stuff for that. And to be honest, I don't appreciate that from that person because he actually drives one of my trucks. And I'm a little upset about that. But then again, I look at the fact that my name is on the Final Four going to Homestead in 2 weeks. So I can't be too mad.
Absolutely. Win and you're in. And that's exactly what you did. Going to move on to Phoenix after tonight. You feeling good about that track?
Yeah.
Well, good now. I mean, you don't have to do much there.
We got caught up in a big wreck last year there. And that's where we gained a bunch of points on Robbie Baskins that actually put us in position to win the championship last year. So I guess Phoenix will just be a dry run for us. We'll play around with a couple things. Not that a whole lot transfers from, an odd-shaped mile in the desert to a mile and a half high-banked track in a humid climate. But guess we'll play a little strategy, learn a few things, and see what we can do for Homestead.
All right, we're going to wrap it up with you here. Is there anyone you want to thank or give a shout-out to?
Yeah, it's been a long time since I won a race. It's been since Martinsville last year in this series, and I've never won a broadcasted race. And there have been a couple things. We lost my aunt in June, and it's I knew something was going to happen at some point this year because I just felt a presence, but I didn't know when. So I want to say, hey, hope she's watching over us and smiling. But also, we lost a really, really good man in the local racing community and a family friend of ours, Nick Bonema, last week, and he did a lot for our family. He did a lot for local auto racing, and just want to give a shout out to the Bonema family. They're great people. They run one of the local tracks, and really appreciate the lessons that I learned from Nick and the time that I got to spend with them. So really just thinking of them, and also have to thank Menards Brant, Smoky Mountain Herbal Snuff, PetSmart Charities, Totes McGoats, Tide Sirius XM, STP, Dr. Pepper, Twisted Tea, Southwest Airlines, and of course, #Vegas Strong, always thinking of the folks injured and that lost their lives in Las Vegas a couple weeks ago.
Alrighty, well, we'll leave it there. Again, congratulations on your win, and we'll see you over in Homestead.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
Absolutely. Again, congratulations to the 42 of Jim Foose, bringing it home tonight after a unusual ending to that race. Really not much more to say about that. Unfortunately, it doesn't look like we're going to be able to hear it all from the 43 of Steve Bahala. And third, unfortunately, just couldn't get his mic working, it seems.
Yeah, he did have a couple of words he wanted to say. He wanted to say, thanks for covering the series, and you're welcome, bud. Big thanks out to Fireball for the sponsorship for the season, and a big shout-out to Old Schools for the awesome paint job. Congratulations goes back out to Scott Smith on that third-place finish. But,
yeah. That's tonight. It's been the weirdest thing, and Wes, I know you were doing a little bit of research there while I was talking to Jim, but no connection. It was really a random decision from Justin Brown, and maybe if Justin finds his way to the Phoenix race, we might be able to get a word out of him there. But until then, we are left to the mysterious at this point. But still, Jim Foose gets his win. He gets his lock into Homestead. 3 more spots available.
Yep, and tune in next week at Phoenix. Going to be live around the same time for the 75 laps in honor of our veterans. 75 laps at the mile-long Phoenix International Raceway. But you know, I think I'm done talking about this race. I want to thank you guys out there on the YouTube for watching. And we hope to see you next week at around 9 o'clock Eastern. So for Katie Reed, Tony Knuckles on the 1s and 2s, and myself, we are OCTV, and we are out.